The Eboy Undercut haircut. That is what we're talking about today. So traditionally, like on platforms such as TikTok, what you're seeing are guys that have hair kind of, right to about here or so, and it's kind of like a mushroom, to be honest with you. It's basically an old school mushroom cut. But the unique thing about these haircuts is that underneath it all, it's an undercut. Now this is relatively extreme. There's variations of this where guys have their hair like this on top, but instead of having maybe say a number, 000 guard or a clipper with no guard, just a blade alone, which is like 000, or like a 1 or something like that, really depending. This is probably a 000 right here, which is just the blade on the clipper. You'll see this, or you'll see variation where guys may have the hair is about a ½ inch or so, maybe a little bit longer. But the key to the Eboy Undercut haircut is that, it's got that traditional haircut like this, but it's just completely disconnected. So the length on the sides and the back really varies on you and your own personal taste. The good thing about this is that, as you can see, the haircut covers it up. This covers it up completely, so you wouldn't know what's going on under the hair unless maybe you saw from the back, like, oh, he's got his hair pretty short. But if looking at somebody like this, I would not know that all this is completely shaved. All right, I would have no idea. So the shorter it is, the more obvious, obviously. And if you have the hair a little bit longer, maybe like a number 2 guard or a 3 guard, sometimes even a number 4 guard or so, or like I said, a ½ inch or so to an inch on the sides and the back, it just has a tendency to blend. But this is a very, very popular haircut. It was big in the 90s, 80s even a little bit, but it seems like it's coming back and making a trend again. The next thing about this, even though, yes, it's an undercut, but the key to the whole haircut, honestly, is the layering process. And the layering process is very, very, very easy. So let's break down what I'm talking about. When I say layering, I simply mean removing the weight. So it's allowing the hair to flow much more freely. And layering is usually always done by combing the hair up and cutting off the length. Because what that does is it gives the hair freedom to move. So even though you have an undercut, you still need some sort of layering to achieve this kind of look. Because a lot of these guys, they have a specific flow to their hair, right? And I know I get a lot of questions, how to get my hair silky smooth like this. I've done videos on how to smooth your hair out, but to be honest with you, the best way to get this type of look, if your hair is curly or wavy or it's thick or it's dry or whatever, is one, the product. You want to use a good pre-styling product like my 25 spray, Sleek, which is my smoothing serum, which you put in when it's wet, and when you blow dry it, it really helps get that smooth kind of finish, and it helps defrizz. And also the blow dry. If your hair is really curly or wavy, and you want your hair to look like this, you have to blow dry the hair. There's no way to get this type of look without using heat, without using a blow dryer, without using a round brush. You actually have to go through the entire process to blow dry it. The one thing that is good is that if you do have an undercut, you're only blow drying this top section. You can actually probably get this when you're blow drying it in 2 sections. 1, blow dry this down smooth, and then 2, blow dry it down smooth. You can also blow dry the hair. I have a tendency to blow dry the hair all forward towards the face. I'll take the brush and the blow dryer, and then what I'll do is I'll bring it all forward. And what that does is it helps kind of flat wrap the hair so it makes it a bit closer to the head without making it very, very poofy. And then after that, I will go back in and maybe apply, again, Sleek or a smoothing serum. But as you can see in through here, the reason that this has such a nice flow, even though it's still undercut, and a lot of these guys on social media, it's because they have layers. Now, I have seen a bunch of haircuts, they're not really cut the best. These guys are like, have millions and millions of viewers and their hair's all jacked up. But, again, it really comes down to who's cutting it. So in order to get this kind of Eboy undercut, you have to have a little bit of a flow. I suggest this on people who have, I would say, medium density, or finer hair works. As long as you have a lot of hair, you can achieve this, even on Asian hair or different ethnicities that have more coarser, straighter, thicker hair types. you can get this, you know, and if your hair is wavy / curly, it's gotta be long enough that when you blow dry it straight, it comes down to, you know, about right here. This is pretty much the ideal length for all these types of haircuts, which is basically either to the top of the ear, like this, or right past here, but a lot of guys have their hair around this type of length. If this is a haircut that you guys are interested in getting, if you have this haircut currently, if you learned something from this video, please let me know in the comments below. I love to know your feedback. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time for more videos with The Salon Guy.